So my name's Alan Sinclair, and I'm the Incident Commander for Southwest Area Team 3. We're a Type 2 Incident Management team. We took command of the fire at 0600 this morning. The previous Type 3 team and the local resources did a really good job and set us up for success. When the fire started, the value at risk was the city of Yarnell, and they did a really good job of keeping fire out of town. When we took control this morning, the fire had been moving to the north and east away from town, and they had a really good line in. So it was an ideal situation for us to come into. We've got a lot of land, a lot of country for the fire to move through before there's spots where it's good for us to get firefighters into. So we're today assessing areas where it makes sense to engage the fire. We currently have some dozers that are pushing line towards a road system that's west of Wagner, and the plan is to tie into that and start working their way around flanking the fire.
How many personnel do you have?
About 400.
About 400 now. And so it sounds to me like you expect the fire to grow at least through the day.
Yeah, so the fire will continue to grow as the crews are getting out ahead of it and finding the locations to make a stand.
No injuries yet at this point?
No reported injuries.
And the structures lost have been outbuildings, not homes, is that correct?
That's correct.
So I understand that Yarnell was very diligent after the last fire about putting in lines to help protect their community, and that helped fight the fire.
Yeah, they did put in a very successful fuel break that they were able to utilize as a control feature when fighting this fire. So I mean that was a big success, and I give the fire chief there and the folks that were involved in putting that in a lot of props. They did a good job.
Have you been finding that the homes have been more concerned about defensible space?
Well, right now, with the way that the fire's moving, we're not spending a lot of time in town. Our team came in yesterday afternoon and then took control this morning. So our focus is out ahead of the fire, moving away from town. So I don't have a lot of information about that.
Okay, and maybe a little bit of rain today, possibly?
There's a forecast for potential moisture, but you never know what that means. We have an incident meteorologist assigned with our team, and it would be kind of like a single cell if we just happen to get lucky enough to get some rain out of one popping over. That's what we're looking at. No widespread showers forecasted, but we do have water showers.
How many aircraft do you have on the fire right now?
Oh boy, I'm not sure of the amount of aircraft currently being used, but we do have access to quite a bit. So we do have aircraft that are assigned, and then aircraft that we're requesting to come in, and that would be shared if there were other fires.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
No, I think we're here to manage this fire in the safest way we possibly can. I'm fully confident that the operations personnel are out there, and we have time on our side. There's nothing immediately threatened, and that's a good position to be in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm talking to Supervisor Rolly Simmons, and this is part of your district, and can you tell me what you've seen, how things are going?
Going real good. I was down here Wednesday, and it was amazing because the back burning that they did in Yarnell literally saved the town of Yarnell. A spectacular job back burning. And so they chased right up the hill. The fire was coming up another hill, and they beat it to the surface and stopped that. The wind has been our nemesis like it was 3 years ago, and right now, as we're speaking, the wind is heading north and northeast, which is where we want to see it stay, but it threatens ever so often to turn. So that's why everybody is in a state of
you had to have horrible memories come back when the minute you heard of this fire.
I am, and I will tell you that I ache. I look back here behind me, and this looks exactly like it did 3 years ago, and it brings back memories that I just absolutely would just as soon not have. But we have to move on, and a lot of lessons were learned on the end of that. And we're going to be having a town hall up here with Yarnell and Peoples Valley on July 13th, and we're really going to be hitting hard with a lot of this. And I'm really pleased to report that the water company did not have a lot of damage. 3 years ago they had millions of dollars worth of damage, and they're just now getting back on their feet, and here we go. So
I've heard that the community really stepped up and worked on being fire-wise and
Yes.
defensible space since the last fire.
And Ben Palm is the fire chief, is responsible. They got all kinds of grants, and he did all types of clearing on the east side of Yarnell on those hills and whatever, and a lot of that really paid off. And then they got, right away, they started doing back burning as that was coming up, and so it's really phenomenal.
400 people here working on this fire. It's kind of humbling in a way to think how everybody pitches in to work.
Departments from everywhere. We had on the south end of town, Central Yavapai had a rig sitting out there, posted, and I stopped chatting with them. We've got, you name it, Avondale, some Phoenix folks I've seen, Glendale. I mean, it's just all over. Verde Valley is real heavy here, and so it really is, makes you feel good.
Anything you want to add? Oh, and a lot of people have been wondering what they can do to help. Is there anything they can donate? That sort of thing.
Well, right now I don't know, because we didn't have a lot of, we didn't, to the best of our knowledge, we had no residential homes taken, just outbuildings. So I don't believe those needs are going to be there necessarily. But the recovery group in Yarnell is still very active. So I'm sure that they will be coming out with that information. The Red Cross is helping us, working real hard up at we got up at the Yavapai College. We have the evacuees there. And I mean, you should see the food, the setup and everything. So people have just been great.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
This was made from the infrared flight last night, and it's a briefing map of the incident. We use this in the mornings and in the evenings as briefings are necessary for the team. And you can see the other ancillary items that we have here to make sure we reinforce to the crews, what's going to go on.
Okay, so there's Peoples Valley and Isla and Yarnell. Okay.
Wagner Road up here at the top. How far is the fire from Wagner Road? Each of those squares is a mile. So pretty good ways. Just depends on how much it moves in a
When
day.
I came down, I'd heard 7 miles.
We're at where they got the maps? Possibly 1, 2, 4, 5. That looks roughly correct.
So do you have any projection on how far it's going to extend up in the northeast?
No, I don't think. As the incident commander briefed you, the country is extremely rough. They have to find places that have defensible terrain in order to establish a point to hold it. And they're scouting and doing that this morning.
Okay. So it's going to be going on for a while, but
We hope not, but
yeah.
I think that's probably safe to say. It'll be going on for a while.
But at least there aren't any structures or in the way at this point.
Nothing immediately threatened.
So, okay, thank you.
All right.
As far as APS is concerned, our primary goal was to get power back to the community. And if you look around the hills here and all of the crews we have here trying to do that as fast as we can.
How's that project going?
Considering the hardships and some of the things the guys have had to deal with, you look at hot spots, fire that's still in place. We've done very well. No injuries, no one's hurt. It's going well.
How many crew members do you have working on this?
We probably have total here today about 35, and you can see all the vehicles that are here. We have a vehicle or a person, a crew on every pole that needs it.
How many poles have you had to replace?
On the distribution poles, we've been just about 9, and the bigger 69 poles, we were at 4. But if you look at the terrain they're in, it's very difficult to get to.
Oh yeah. And what about boxes and stuff like throughout the town? How did that fare?
Actually, the firefighters did a very good job of keeping the fire out of the town. So if you look at the burn around the town, where we didn't have any underground facilities, it's all just overhead wooden poles that we've had trouble with.
So, is there anything you want to add?
Just a compliment to the community, the patients they've had, the firefighters, how well they've treated us. It's just been a very good partnership.